morning. This is the fan from the stands. Um, just trying out a new podcast, trying to see how the reception gets, response from people. Um, this is a podcast meant to be all about Lufkin sports and what's going on in seasonal things. And right now, the big headline is Lufkin varsity boys basketball, where they come in ranked number 22 in the state in 5A. Um, they're currently 22 and 2 and on a 19 game win streak between now and then. And playing really well, just coming off of their home Hoop Fest or Holiday Tournament where they went 4-0 and got a quality win, a sound win over number 19 in 6A Grand Oaks. They're playing really well. Uh, Talk a little bit about how well they're doing. Like I said, their 19 game win streak. Um, Two of their lone losses is to 6A defending state champ Plano East early in tournament play earlier this season, and then Red Oak, who is currently or was currently ranked in the 5A top 25 as well. Um, we didn't have all our players during that just time, but that doesn't take away from those teams. But let's give you some stats based on the season so far. Lufkin has scored a total of 1,616 points over 24 games. They're averaging 67, point three points per game, and they've given up 1,108 points over 24 games, and that averaged out to 46.16 points given up. That's a total of a little bit over a 21 point differential. So they're playing really well. They're really doing it on both ends of the floor, both on offense and defense. Even if the offense is scoring every night, their defense is really just bringing it with tenacious D, help defense, and things like that. Talk a little bit about the players now. Most people, if you haven't heard, um, Austin Brown, the 6'8 junior, who has multiple D1 offers, playing really at a high level. He can shoot, he can score on inside and out passes. Really just a complete player. Um, then number two, Bryson Skinner, a really a versatile player, really runs the floor. His defense is phenomenal. Former son of a former Lufkin football player, Atamian Skinner, a senior this year. Bryson Skinner is a senior, and then B.J. Thomas. The growth from him this year has been unheard. Really a leader on the floor, scoring um, from inside and out. He's shooting at a high clip from the outside, especially at the 3 point arc, behind the 3 point arc, excuse me. Dalen Newman, playing the point guard, has really moved the ball well. His defense has really grown, and he's playing at a high level as well. Then you look down, Marcellus Parks shooting well, scoring, really going to the rim and creating contact. Um, Other guys that have really contributed: um, uh, Trip McManus, um, Casey Burst, Javarius White shooting threes. Jacavian Sanders has been phenomenal in the inside and outside. He has really been uh, he's been the guy that's guarding a lot of these bigs from these other teams who we've played. Has 6'7", 6'8", 6'9" guys and really shut them down. Of course, it's helped defense as well. Done a really good job. Kevo Moore, um, like I said, and Caden Burst, the Burst sons, and so really playing a really just a complete team. They're moving the ball. They're getting out in transition, playing defense, and just playing at a really high level right now. Um, we'll look at the district a little bit. This year, if you didn't know, Lufkin's district, besides us, of course, is Mount Pleasant, who is one of the best, probably East Texas schools in the last 10 to 15 years. Really won a lot of games. Coach Chisholm over there at Mount Pleasant is a really good program, really a contender. In fact, right now, Lufkin and Mount Pleasant are the lone teams with undefeated going into tomorrow's game. We'll talk about it in just a second. Tyler High, really athletic team, got some size, um, always a tough opponent. Hallsville, they're really good and well coached. They have a 6'8", 6'9" sophomore who I would not be surprised who is would be a huge D1 the next couple of years. Nacogdoches is always tough. Texas High um, is a tough place to play. They have athletes. The guards are really good, and then Jacksonville. Um, Rounding out towards the end, Jacksonville coming in at 1-4, White House at 0-4, and Marshall 0-4. Back up a little bit. Texas High is 2-2. NAC is 2-2. Hallsville 3-2. Their lone losses to Mount Pleasant and Lufkin. Um, and Tyler, one of the losses is Lufkin, and then the surprise upset, Tyler losing to a little bit to me to NAC. A pretty big surprise if you ask me. The district is a lot better than it's been in the last few years. Um, no offense, but this district is a lot more competitive, and I do think it will help us in the long term, specifically towards the playoffs, um, and hopefully going further down the line. Um, as of this morning, they haven't updated the rankings yet, at least yet, but we'll look at it real quick. Um, Lufkin again comes in at number 22 with a 22-2 record. Some of the teams that possibly could be in Lufkin's region, and this is the difference this year, particularly in the past where you only had one conference, which was 5A. Now you have one conference, but two different divisions, Division One and Division Two. And talking about that a little bit, there's Division One. Lufkin will automatically, no matter what, be in Division One because they're one of the bigger schools. They're the biggest school, in fact, in our district. And then um, you know, and talking about our district specifically, the way it looks is Lufkin will be for sure D1 if they make the playoffs. Tyler High D1 as well for sure. They're one of the bigger teams in our district. Um, Hallsville, Marshall, Mount Pleasant, NAC, and Texarkana High or Texas High could go either way. And then the two smaller schools for sure that will, if they make the playoffs, that will go D2 or Jacksonville and White House being smaller for them. But going back to the rankings, um, there's not a lot of schools that will be specifically from the top 25 5A rankings for boys that will be in our region, and as well as not be in the same division, which is Division One. So looking at the top 25, uh, really one, um, two, three, four, five. I believe there's 7 out of the top 25. Let me do that real quick. One, two, uh, three, four, five, six. Excuse me. I thought there were 7. Um, maybe 6. Oh, there's 7. There's 7 out of the top 25 that may or may not be in our region. Some of them could go Division Two. So 7 out of the top 25 will either could possibly be in our region, or they are going to go to either D2, could possibly go D2, or in a totally different region. Lufkin this year again is Region 2, and a tough region, a lot of good ranked teams. Fortunately, some of these ranked teams will go to D2 as well. Um, Tomorrow's game, let's talk about it real quick. Mount Pleasant, like I said, one of the best programs in the last, I'd say, 10 to 15 years. Really a well coached team. They're always athletic, tenacious on the defensive end. They got a couple of guys that come to mind, specifically um, the coach's son, Carter Chisholm. I think he's a 2 year starter, maybe a three. He's a junior, and then Reggie Webster, who is either a 2 or 3 year starter. He's 6'6". Plays a lot of positions. They're athletic, like I said. They can shoot, play great defense. Really get after it. Mount Pleasant is one of the hardest places to play. We're really going to have to bring our A game. Their record is 15-3 overall with the 4-0 district record, tied for first place with us being undefeated. Their lone losses, it's Frisco Memorial, who's ranked in the top 25. In fact, they're ranked number 21, just above Lufkin. And the other losses is Lawton, Oklahoma, is really a good program out of Oklahoma. And then Melissa, who may be ranked, but they got a 5-star or 4-star D1 player for Melissa. So they're a really good basketball team. Lufkin really going to have to come to play. Hopefully, we can get out there and play like we should. Well, hopefully, y'all have a great day. Again, this is the fan from the stands. I hope y'all have a great day and be blessed.